Hello everyone, I'm Sun, and you're listening to Sun Huyen podcast. My previous podcast episode, If Only Someone Was Waiting for Me at the Airport, was very popular with you all. Honestly, when I recorded that podcast, I felt a little hesitant, wondering if I should even air it. Because it showed a rather different side of me, a very real image of Sun in everyday life. When I'm with people I'm extremely close to, be it a lover or family, people who make me feel safe and loved, my image is very goofy, a bit dreamy, a bit silly. But I'm also very happy that that podcast touched the hearts of some of you. I also make it a habit to read your comments to understand how you feel, as an indirect way for me to better understand those of you who listen to my podcast. In a recent episode, Alone at Home, I read a comment that said, "When I heard the part about looking down from a tall building at the sparkling city lights, I felt a pang of sadness, wondering when I would ever have a life like that." Reading this made me think a bit. Had I ever yearned for something others had but I didn't? Did I ever feel that pang of sadness? And how could I overcome that feeling and actually achieve those things instead of just wishing for them? I understand that this is an emotion we will all experience at least once in our lives, sooner or later. It takes a very long time to stop comparing ourselves to others, doesn't it? We will still have moments of weakness, wanting things we don't have, and feeling a deep sadness when we see others possessing them. This also made me ponder whether I should continue sharing about my own happiness and the good things I have, because these very things might make others feel disheartened. While searching for that answer, I thought that if I could share something that helps you confront that emotion, it would be better than me stopping sharing positive things or joys in life. Because in reality, when we genuinely rejoice in someone else's happiness, that's what's truly wonderful. We can't, after all, force others not to share their happy lives, can we? Previously, when I was living and working in Hanoi, there was a period when my friend had a beautiful relationship. She and her boyfriend had been together for a year or two, and he was very doting and loving towards her. I, on the other hand, had just gone through a breakup. I felt sad seeing them so happy, and a deep sense of envy. Honestly, many times, I would sit and think, this life truly only has me as the miserable failure. Everyone else has a partner, everyone else is happy, only I sit here, wallowing in sadness, watching everything pass by. I just focused on work to forget everything, to forget the past relationship, burying myself in work so I wouldn't have any free time to miss anyone. That's right, I just worked tirelessly, continuously. And later, I found that it worked. I just pushed everything else aside and focused solely on my work. I focused on what I could do right now. I couldn't just leave my work unfinished and spend all day thinking about an unfinished relationship. And so, my work improved. I even used my free time to learn new skills, like how to do YouTube. Yes, the reason I have a YouTube channel now is partly because there was a time when I was heartbroken and felt the urge to immerse myself in a lot of work, to forget everything. And when things got better, work improved, I earned more money, gained more connections through work, everything naturally shifted in a completely different direction. The feeling of absence almost ceased to exist because my energy was fully focused on something else. At that time, unfortunately, my friend and her boyfriend broke up for a very trivial reason. They went on a trip and then broke up. I don't know the exact details, whether they argued over a restaurant or something else. I didn't ask too much. But I realized one thing, in reality, nothing is perfect. There will always be arguments, always breakups, always disharmony. And for people to be that happy, they also had to try very hard to stay together and to harmonize. Until one day, they couldn't harmonize anymore, and they chose to part ways and seek what was more compatible for them. So their relationship, as beautiful and peaceful as it seemed during that time, was also due to the efforts of both sides. It wasn't just by chance that my friend had a loving boyfriend. It wasn't just by chance that it became so wonderful. And I also met someone new after that period. Thoughts of my ex-partner were almost no longer in my mind, meaning I no longer blamed or grieved. Choosing to focus on work turned out to be the right decision for me. Although I knew at the time I was just avoiding things, I was very happy that afterward I was able to confront my emotions. I understood that, okay, this relationship has ended. I will meet someone else. And the important thing is, now that I'm starting a new relationship, what do I need to do? How do I need to change so that the old mistakes from the previous relationship don't repeat in this one? From every mistake, I drew lessons for myself not to repeat them. That's why subsequent relationships have always been better. They always bring something that feels like it comes with maturity. Returning to the feeling of a slight pang of sadness when I don't have what others have, I believe that if we understand one very important thing, many things don't happen by chance. Sometimes, people have to try incredibly hard to achieve what they possess. This could be material things like houses, cars, or luxurious trips. It could also be a position at work, a director, owning a company, or even earning a very high salary. Or they might have truly wonderful relationships. Why am I alone, unable to even have one friend when so many people out there are happy? We must understand that nothing is random, my friends. Some things are the result of a long journey, and I personally believe in karma. So when others achieve something, I always believe they deserve it. They worked hard, or they did something I don't know what. Even if they cheated, that's their own karma, their own story. If I'm happy for them, that's great. If I'm not, then I simply don't bother much. As for myself, I always think this: what I gain in life will require sacrifices. Perhaps those sacrifices are like an iceberg, mostly hidden. People only see my happy, joyful moments, my successes. I rarely share those hidden aspects. Even my closest friends can't truly know my sleepless nights, my thoughts about the future, or the times I'm utterly exhausted and how I face everything. I went through those times alone. And to this day, I still believe that if I'm diligent, if I make an effort, then fate will not let me down. I always think that. My life now is the life I wished for many years ago, and I don't deny that I've had a very long journey. Things didn't just happen naturally. Many times, I wish someone would just throw a pile of money at me and say, "Here, take $5 million, go enjoy your life." I want that too, but I think this is my journey. And when I strive for the life I want, I realize so many amazing things. Honestly, I gain more faith in myself, believing that if I make an effort, I will have the things I want. And I also know that there are people out there who are similar. Perhaps they have successes, but they too have struggled immensely with themselves. And the more successful they become, sometimes the more difficult, the more tired they get, bearing a heavy burden of responsibility, not just what we see. Consequently, sometimes we take someone's trailer. We take snapshots of someone's success and compare it to ourselves, which is a very flawed comparison. I believe that everything we do will eventually yield deserved results. So now, whatever you desire, whatever you crave, let's not just dream small. We must truly do it. Take all that energy from the pang of sadness, that sorrow, and genuinely strive in your life. Whatever you want to do, perhaps don't just stop at wanting anymore, but actually do it. Even now, I still think I'm quite ordinary. But perhaps that's because I'm more comfortable now, and that allows me to be lazier. Back then, I didn't allow myself to be lazy. I didn't allow myself to rest too much. Every moment I slept past 7 or 8 a.m., I felt ashamed of myself. I was very strict with myself back then. My face was much more strained than it is now. And the biggest lesson I learned is this: focus on your own life. Truly focus on improving it instead of just craving things you don't have. If I want something, I will get it by working hard. I won't just sit there feeling envious anymore, because that doesn't help me grow, it doesn't make me better, it doesn't give me anything back. Plus, I have a strong belief that if others can do it, so can I. I'll just keep trying. I don't know what the outcome will be, but if I haven't tried and haven't put in my full effort, then I don't have the right to envy others. Because I also can't understand how hard they tried, how much effort they put in. I hope that in the journeys ahead in the coming years, especially for those of you who are still feeling very uncertain in life and want to have a more stable footing, you will continue to try hard, work diligently, put in more effort, and even make sacrifices. Sacrifice your time, your leisure, and entertainment to achieve bigger, greater things. In reality, things are not as easy as you perceive them to be. There are many things that others don't tell you. You only see what's on the surface. And when you struggle greatly to achieve something, you will also understand that others have their own worries, they just don't share them. But the important thing is that you must believe that you deserve such a life. You deserve to have the things you desire in life, and you start living for it. You no longer dream about it, but you work for it. You start today. One day, you will see that, my life has changed so much, and you will thank yourself for having made the effort. Everyone has a different situation, my friends. I know there are people who were born into luxury, who were already at the finish line, some even had to move backward to reach it. But they, too, have their own unique pressures. Those born wealthy are often told by society, You must give, you must sacrifice, you must pay a high price to receive this or that. They also face many difficulties. Even children of privilege experience a lot of pressure. So it's not just us who suffer, who are sad, who struggle in this life. Everyone is very tired because of the greed, anger, and delusion in life. And unless we can let go of everything, every desire in this life, perhaps then we would feel lighter. But we are human, we also have emotions. There will be times when we feel a pang of sadness, of course, and everyone has their own sorrows. If we understand our own pain, we will also understand that others are going through similar times at a different stage in their lives. So, if they achieve something, be happy for them, because you, too, will deserve those things, and others will be happy for you. Envy, a pang of sadness, comparing oneself to others. I don't have what they have. These emotions will, to varying degrees, occur in our daily lives. But I truly hope that it's best for us to focus on our own lives and see what we can do better. If we can't be as good as others, then just being better than we were yesterday, better than we were last year, that's already a huge improvement. In this life, we cannot compare anyone to anyone else. Each person has a very different value system, a different path, a different way of life, a different level of thought. And ultimately, we still have to live, my friends. Live and appreciate the life that has given us an opportunity to grow and to experience. Spend more time experiencing both successes and pains, experiencing mistakes, losses, and lessons. One day, we will realize that in reality, everything always has two sides. No one is entirely blessed, and no one is entirely miserable. A happy person is someone who appreciates what they have. Even if we have everything, money, good looks, a beautiful love, but we don't appreciate it, we will never truly feel what happiness is. I truly hope that we can look within ourselves and understand one thing: everything we have is not a given. Your presence in this life is a miracle that fate has bestowed upon you. So, perhaps it's time for us to truly live our own lives. Thank you all very much for listening to today's podcast. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Wish you all a good night.